Hey guys, that's really close. Um, I wanted to make an application video for you. I'm not feeling well and I'm not thinking straight. This is my third attempt at making this video, so hopefully this will be the last time I have to make one. Um, so this application method is called the reverse warm application. Um, I like it. I've done different kind of applications, and you know, this may not be your favorite. It's really trial and error to play around, and I encourage you to look at videos and see what works for you. I would say for the most part, Jamberry's official application video is fine. Um, I like this one just a little bit better because it leaves you room for error, and I'll show you what I mean when we get started. So, yeah, let's get started. I don't have a tripod, so give me 1 second while I set this up. Oranges in the backgrounds. All right. So regardless of what method you use to apply, you have to clean your nail bed. And that includes pushing your cuticles back, and the cuticle includes not just your base, but all the way around your nail. Pushing it back and cleaning it off. And this is backwards, so I apologize. I'm not computer tech savvy or anything. This is Jamberry's cuticle pen remover. This is not necessary. It's just happened that I have one. You can use something like this, or you can just use a regular cuticle pusher. This pusher comes in our application kit. Normally I would do, see, that's my first attempt. I wasn't going to have any nails on. So anyways, normally I would do all the fingers on one hand and let it sit for like a minute and then come back and push it. But since I'm only doing one finger, and the only reason I'm only doing one finger is I can't have any nail wraps or even polish anything on my hands while I'm in school. But I'm just going to do this for you guys so you can see. So I'm just pushing this back all the way around, getting dry skin and gunkies off. Alright, then I'm just gonna wipe it off, and then I'm going to clean it with an alcohol swab. And this does is remove the oils on your nail bed. And why we do these two things is because we don't want any oils or any skin to come in between our wrap, because that would just make it, I'm just drawing it right now with my heater, that would just make it not stick well, and you eventually would get puckering and lifting, and you don't want that. Alright, so this is dry. I think this is on. No, it's not on. Alright, now it's on. It's so soft I can barely tell when it's on or off. Okay, so my first tip that I'm going to give you guys is I like to use, and you don't have to do this, but I like to use oily bonder as a base on my nails. And the reason I like this is because this creates like a little bit of a rough surface on your nails without me having to buff my nails. And I feel it's like, when you paint, your paint sticks better when your surface is just a little bit rough. I'm just drawing it again. Whereas if you're painting something that's super smooth, it's just going to flake off. It's kind of the same thing. Gives the wrap a little tiny rough surface to adhere better to. So you don't have to do this. I like to do it. Maybe it's just mental, but I feel like it makes my stuff really on there well. Alright, where's my wrap? Alright, so I've already cut this. I'm going to remove it with tweezers. You don't want to remove it with your fingers because all that nail prep that you just did would go down the drain if you touched the sticky part with your fingers, because the fingers are full of oils and all sorts of things. So I have tweezers. So this is where the reverse method comes in. I've got this wrap straight off the backing. I'm not going to heat it. I'm going to put it on my finger, but I'm only going to do the very, very tip base of it. It's just barely on there. And what this allows me to do, I did it crooked, so that's why we do it like that. It allows me to adjust it without it having to really be sticking on there well. Because once that adhesive is on there, it's hard to pull it up, regardless of if you do cold or warm or whatever. So now that I've got it kind of centered where I think is the best, now I'm going to heat it. And you just heat it to where it does that, it kind of bends. And then I'm just going to smooth it down. So just go straight down and off to the sides. Really smush it down. Get a good seal. If you have really curvy nails and you need to take some wrinkles out from the side, you can tug a little bit on the edge. I would not recommend tugging a lot because I feel like when your wrap cools, it's going to want to go in the shape that it was before and it'll pucker on the sides. So just a slight tiny pull. You flatten it out and heat it again, and use your finger again, really get it down, or use the pusher, really get those edges, get it good. Alright, I think I'm good. I had all really on there. So typically, like I said, I do all my nails in one step at a time. So all cleaning once, all oily bonder once. I do all this at once, and then I start come back and file. But I'm only doing one, like I said before. You're going to take a coarse file, and this is the same regardless of which method you're going to do. You're going to file this excess off on downward, just one downward motion. If you happen to need to cut your nails, this is a good time. You can cut that excess in your nail at the same time. I don't need to cut my nails, they're already kind of short. So I'm going to file the excess off. And you just go straight down in one direction. You don't go up and down. You don't go side to side. Just straight down. And that just comes right off. Look at that. So this is not going to be the smoothest edge because this is a coarse file. So you can take a glass nail file or like a buffer block. A buffing block actually comes in your application kit, but my dogs seem to think they're treats and they chewed them all up. And my glass file I've stepped on and it's in like a million pieces. So you just smooth that edge down to where it like just kind of feels nice. And that's it. You're done. Super easy. It's, I like this method because you're messing it up. It's easy to, reposition. My last tip I'm going to give you is when you apply your jams, you do want to leave like a teeny tiny, I don't know if you can see this with the reflection, teeny tiny sliver of your nail showing. Now this might be just a little more than a teeny tiny sliver. This one's maybe a little less, if you can see that. Because this will eliminate the chances of you, if you go all the way to the edge, chances of you touching skin increases. So this eliminates that touching the skin if you have just a little tiny edge showing. I mean, no one's really going to notice but you. And if it really bothers you, you don't have to do this. But it does help in puckering on the sides and eliminate that. So, anyways, that's my video. Sorry, my big old hand. It was a little longer than I expected, but I hope it helped you. If you have any questions, please message me or post on my wall, and I will try to help you out. Thanks.